この世は矛盾ばっかりだ。何か一つしか選べないなら、きっと未来に手を伸ばすのが正しいんだって。そのために別々の道を選ばなきゃいけないなんて、クソみたいな矛盾も飲み込むよ。親友として笑い合えるって信じてる。さようなら、俺たちの恋。どうか。
I always find it so fascinating and surprising when I think a show that has gone from high potential to mediocre to dog water. When you have those types of shows, I'm always just unfathomable on how. That's not even the right word there. That's not the right word. That's all right. I'm always just like, I'm perplexed. That's the right word. On how can it get worse? And I always think to myself, like, it can't get any worse than what we've seen so far. It can. Like, this is the bottom. Like, this is the bottom of the bottom. And then the show goes, that's what you thought. We got you. So if you guys haven't been around the channel for a while, what's up? I'm Dom. I'm D-O-M, not Don. Dom from the Otaku Room. And I review anime, and I review weekly anime, and I review them per episode, and then I talk about the anime holistically. Now, if you don't know, one of my biggest anime pet peeves, especially in romance anime, because it doesn't really matter for other anime, but specifically the romance genre, is the biggest pet peeve I have is when characters, right? When you have two characters, and I'm gonna use the Funko Pops here. When you have penguin and you have girl, right? You have boy and girl, and the boy is like, I love her, and she's like, I love him, and one of the two decides, I can't tell her until I have done XYZ. Even if she's like, mwah, 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 mwah. He's like, that could mean anything. She kissed me. We slept together, but I don't know if it was valid. I don't know what her feelings are. And she's like, he needs to tell me he loves me. I don't know what's taking him so long. And he's like, I don't know what it could mean. Maybe she just likes my peen. Like, it's just, okay. Here's my big pet peeve is that I hate when a character has to accomplish something to go and reveal their feelings, or they have to wait for something to reveal their feelings. That's not how real life works. That's not how love works. It simply doesn't. And if you wait, the other person, or eventually one of the two people, are going to decide that it's not meant to be, or the other person doesn't feel the same way, and they separate and they end up with somebody else. People say like you can only meet one person. You get like 3 people in life, okay, that are meant to be the one. You may choose wrong, but there's other ones out there, okay? So I hate when a person has to complete a test, has to complete a competition, has to complete some arbitrary checklisting, has to grow a certain way, has to graduate a certain thing, has to beat a certain person, has to win a certain thing. I hate that because it makes no sense and is so stupid. So on last week's episode, I had some fate. I was like, okay, there's no more questioning it. You got kissed by Himari, okay? He got kissed by Himari. So my first thing that I'm super pissed about is the anime, instead of beaming us back to that scene so we can see how Yu's gonna respond on, is he gonna kiss her back? Is he gonna say, we should date now? Is he gonna look her in the eyes and say, I've always loved you? Is he gonna take her by the waist? What's gonna happen from that scene? But instead we get nothing. All we get is now he's in school, and we have to left wondering, okay, well, how did that scene end? How did she kiss him and then it just ended, right? Did they just both run away? Did he just do the natural virgin anime thing and he just like and ran to his house? Like, what did he do after being kissed? What did she do after kissing him? We'll never know. And the anime goes you know what I mean? And then he's questioning himself, talking to Flowers, like, what did the kiss even mean? Does that mean she likes me? Was it a kiss between friends? Like, okay, I understand writing your character as dense, but are you writing them as just completely ignorant and dumb? Like, is this person gonna go, like, do they not understand to not walk in a street full of moving cars? Or are they just gonna always chance it? It makes no sense to me. So that's the first thing, is they totally messed up. Okay. And then the second thing is, okay, let's not avoid the conversation, right? You made it. He's like, okay, it did happen. Let's not avoid the conversation with Himari. Where do we go from here? Do we just start dating? You know, like what's the thing? But instead, they do avoid it, and Yu feels now that he still needs to confess to her. He still has to confess to her. What do you mean you have to There's no confession. You don't need she kissed you. That's it. All you gotta say is, yes, sign me up. You know, where do you want to go this weekend? Like, there's nothing additional that needs to occur. She kissed you. It's a done deal. It's a period. The end. The confession already happened. But then he's like, okay, when I go and defeat 𝐒𝐻 and I should have my sunflowers, you wait for me. I'm going to have to tell you something. Okay, there's no guessing game. There's no guessing game there. She knows what he's going to say. He knows what he's going to say. Just say it now that you're both in the same room. Why do we need to wait for you to win or not win some competition that you shouldn't be in to pay back money that she doesn't owe, that she's getting blackmailed to go do a job that she doesn't want to go do? It all makes no sense. So then he has an emotional conversation with his boy Shinji, and Shinji's like, I always loved 𝐒𝐻. I'm like, it doesn't matter, bro. You're in 11th grade, and she's like 21. Like, she's an adult, and she previously was dating Himari's brother. Like, they still have an old fling. They're much older. You have no chance, boy. Like, regardless of, you know, if you were both kids at some point, she's not anymore. Girls don't date younger guys. It just doesn't happen. Like, it happens like the 1%. It's not gonna happen. Let go of that love. So that's the next thing. Dumb. So then how can it get worse from here? Then he goes and he creates sunflowers. You know, he creates a sunflower tiara, and it's good. It's a good sunflower tiara. And the 𝐒𝐻 girl is like, oh, this is awesome. I would love it. I would wear it, blah, blah, blah. But then his sister's gonna tell him, like, but he messed up once. Who cares? Who cares? Once he sells an item, if I go and I sell this to a customer, right? I sell these nail clippers. I just cut my nails. I sell these nail clippers to a customer. I sell them to you. And I go $10. And you go $10, here's $10. I hand you the nail clippers, right? You can't then say, well, a month from now, they started rusting. Okay, that could happen for a variety of reasons. They could rust for a variety of reasons. What do you want me to do about that? Well, can you return them? No. No, I can't. Period. The end. That's how that customer interaction ends. So then he doesn't win the contest because 𝐒𝐻, it wasn't because his sunflower tiara wasn't good. It was because it wasn't his first try, which is stupid. That's not how it works. Customers have no idea if you tried 12 times. And let's say he did try 12 times. What does it matter? That's how you make stuff. If you're somebody who makes things by hand and you're gonna, I am a designer bag creator, or I'm a bag creator. I create backpacks. I create purses. I could have messed up 4 times. You as the customer, it doesn't matter. Do you like the 5th time? Do you like the product you got? Cool. We're good to go. And then his sister, then that ends, and he's like, oh, Himari, forget what I ever told you. And then she's like, what do you mean, dude? And like, okay, so that's stupid. Then from there, he's gonna get, you know, she has to make a dilemma. We'll talk about that in a second. But then his sister's gonna come and be like, look at these flowers you made 2 months ago. Look at them. Like a petal fell off. Yeah, he's making accessories with real flowers. Real flowers that were thrown on the floor. That's what's going to happen sometimes is, guess what? You mistreat an item, especially an item that has a real, that's based off of like a real thing, a real flower, you know, or something like that. Yeah, it's very sensitive. It's easily broken. That's the understanding when you buy these things. And if you break it as a customer, if you pick a flower petal off, guess what? That is what it is. So then he's going to go like, it's because love got in the way. But no, it's stupid. Okay, so that's stupid. It's all stupid. And then it's like, oh, then Himari at the end is going to go and like, oh, I'm going to go to Tokyo because Shinji told me that like, I'm going to go be successful and then I'll promote your business. Okay, no. He just needs to get locked in on his business more, do more marketing, blah, 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 blah. That's not how the business works. She goes and gets famous, and then she messes around with other dudes. That's how that works. Like, you don't go get famous and be a model or whatever, and like, oh, if our love is real, we'll be separated for years and we'll come back to each other. Like, that is incredibly annoying and stupid. So even if next episode, even if they do find each other years later, like, that's stupid. So you're going to put your whole life on hold for something that may or may not happen? Who does that? That makes, like, just so stupid. Like, at that point, I hope we get a time skip and he's married with Rian. That he's married with Inamoto. I hope he's just married with her. Be like, oh, you're a model? Cool. High five. Here's my business. It took off. Whatever else. You left me. God, this anime is trash, man. I rarely say it, but this anime has, like, the worst. It has some of the worst writing. And it makes me angry. And I always say, hey, if an anime makes you, and if you're still here, hey, thank you. I always say if an anime makes you feel an emotion, it's doing something right. But when I say about being angry or sad or mad, I do so in the context of the story, like the author intends for you to feel this way. Like something happens and the author wrote it as intention. This author, you can tell, is writing and thinking like they're putting this is a Grammy, this is an Academy Award, blah, 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 blah. We're being reactive to it, right? Like somebody doing something stupid in front of you, right? Instead of them, you laughing at, with them, you're laughing at them, right? This is, we're not laughing with them, we're laughing at them. I'm being mad at the author, not being mad with the author, if that makes sense. It's terrible. 4 out of 10, man. I'll see you guys next week for the last episode. This has been one of the worst anime I've seen all year. Peace.